Alright, so let us discuss the aldehyde and ketones group of compounds. So there are many compounds which have something common with these two, right? And let us have a look on the different compounds, right? And so here is this common thing which you can see, which is highlighted in yellow, right? This group C double bond O group is known as carbonyl group, right? And the compounds containing carbonyl group are known as carbonyl compounds, right? And if we have this carbonyl group present at the end of the carbon chain, and only this group, right? If you have only this group present at the end of the carbon chain, why I am saying at the end of the carbon chain? Because you are logged with these three people, right? So I will write this group in short CHO. CHO. So whenever you have this group where carbon has just one valency, so this group can be substituted only at the extreme end of the carbon chain. If you have such group, then such class of compounds may be called as aldehyde. If this group is most preferable, then this class will be aldehyde class. And if this group is not present in the at the extreme ends, and if we have replaced this hydrogen with some alkyl group, right, with some alkyl group, alkyl at both sides, then you will get this group, and this will be known as ketones. So what is the difference between aldehyde and ketone? The only difference is that this carbonyl group, or we can also call it keto group, right? When this carbonyl group is at the last carbon, means this carbon will be the last carbon or extreme carbon. When this carbon is the last carbon, then this is called the aldehyde, and if it is not so, then it is called the ketones. I hope it's very clear. And if along with these carbonyls, if you have hydroxyl group, alcoholic group, then these are called the carboxylic acids, right? These are called the carboxylic acid, carbonyl group along with OH, right? So these are called carboxylic acid. If you have halogen attached to this carbon instead of hydrogen, you will call it acid chloride, right? And if you have some carboxylate group attached to this carbonyl, right, this group is attached, right, which is called the carboxylate group. If carboxylate group is attached instead of hydrogen, then it is called acid anhydride. Basically acid anhydride is made from carboxylic acid. Let me explain you how. For example, we have this acid, and you can call it acetic acid, and if I write this molecule twice, right, and what I would like to have, I would like to have water out of it, then you are left with this compound CH3, COO, again O, again C, and then CH3. This is called acetic anhydride. And how it is going to look? It's very simple. This carbon has carbonyl group and then attached with oxygen. This carbon also has carbonyl group attached with methyl group, right? So this is acid anhydride. And if NH2 group is attached, then it is called acid amides. I hope it is very clear to everyone. So these are the carbonyl groups, right, and these are the different functional group that we can have with the help of carbonyl groups, right. And now we have very famous and very useful compound that we are using in our day-to-day life, and one of them is shown here, and this compound is known as vanillin, right? This is used for giving a flavor of vanilla flavor, right? It is called vanillin, right? And this compound we have studied earlier. This is known as salicylaldehyde, right? And this compound is known as cinnamaldehyde, right? So cinnamaldehyde is present in cinnamon. Cinnamon, I hope everyone understand what is cinnamon. Cinnamon को हिंदी में हम दालचीनी बोलते हैं, right? So it is present in cinnamon. So basically I want to say that these compounds are also used in many food products and pharmaceutical industries to add some flavors, right? Moreover, they are also used to prepare some adhesives, paints and plastics and very different categories of the polymers, right? Now let us go for the nomenclature of aldehydes and ketones. So what is the IUPAC rule for the nomenclature of aldehyde and ketone? There is mainly two special points. The first point is about the suffix. We know that the suffix for aldehydes is -al. You are going to attach the word -al, and for ketone the suffix is -on. Do not say it -one. This is the first rule, and the second rule is that aldehyde group is always preferable as compared to ketones, and therefore you are going to use the prefix as keto, right? So now we have this compound. This is called methanol, right? Methanol, because there is one carbon and then -al, and remember that the E part of the alkane will be deleted because you have A which is going to add. So what will be the name of this compound? It's ethanol, right? And now this compound, right? So this compound can be drawn very simply in this fashion. It's a bond line notation, right? Now count. Methyl, methyl, you have twice methyl attached to this carbon, and this is the group. So this carbon will be numbered at first carbon, second carbon, third carbon. So essentially the name will be propanol, but this propanol contains methyl group at second carbon, so we will write 2-methyl propanol, right? And similarly you have this compound, right? And this compound is a little bit difficult to name. Why? Because we have different suffix for this group. Now this compound is known as, here is the numbering, you have to number it 1. This carbon is number 1, not this carbon, right? 1, 2 and 3. And you can understand that on third carbon we have methyl, right? So this is 3-methyl, then cyclohexane, and I am writing this time E also. And I cannot write it cyclohexanal. Why? Because if you are going to write -al, then the carbonyl carbon is counted in the chain, alright? And this time cyclohexane, because this carbon is not counted. So we will use a different suffix when it is not counted. I am repeating the same statement. When carbonyl group of aldehyde is not counted in the main carbon chain, then a different suffix is used, and that suffix is known as carbaldehyde. So this is what you have learned in this example. So when you are using the carbaldehyde, then do not delete this E, alright. Now here we have another compound, CH3CH, and again you are going to draw CH3, this is CH3, this is CH, right? And then here is OCH3, and then again CHO. Now count: 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, and on to the second carbon we have methoxy group. So what will be the name? Just like this, we will have 2-methoxy propanol, right? And the name for this will be 1 2 3 4 5. It will be pentanol. And for this we will have propenol. Do not enter any numeric position because it is not confusing, because in propene you can put the double bond only at this position if you have aldehyde at this position, right? And now we have such type of compound for which we will name it benzene. Just like we have hexane, we have benzene, and this is 1 2. So we will write it 1 2 dicarbaldehyde, right? And I think you can understand the nomenclature for this last member. This is 1 2 and 3, 3 bromo, right? 3 bromo, and you can write here benzene carbaldehyde, right? So benzene carbaldehyde, right? And there is one more substituted word for benzene carbaldehyde, and that word is benzaldehyde. So you can write here 3 bromo benzaldehyde. This is also correct. So 3 benzene carbaldehyde, 3 bromo benzaldehyde is correct. But here you cannot write dibenzaldehyde. Alright. Now the next compound, this one, the name is, this is for I think this construct the ketones. So the name will be butanone, right? Butanone. Do not add 2 to this. Do not add butane 2 on. Why? Because if I am writing butanone, that means we have 4 carbons, right? And if I am adding on, that means the functional group is keto, and that functional group will not be at extreme position. So these 2 positions cannot have the carbonyl group. So only these 2 are left for having carbonyl, and this position will be always 2 from either this side, or if it is at this side, then again 2 from this side, right? So I hope everyone can understand that there should not be the numeric position of functional group for this compound. However, here you have to write pentane, right? Pentane, then 2 on, right? You have to mark these bars. We can say these are the separators, and these separators are always used when you have to switch between 2 different languages. This is English and this is Arabic, right? And people in simple words say that for writing the position you have to use the hyphens, right? This is one of the way, but the rule says that whenever you have to jump or switch in between the language, then you are going to use the hyphens, right? Now this compound, here is the 1 and here is the 3. This is 3-methyl, right? So I am writing very simply, it's a 3-methyl and cyclo, right? Cyclohexane, and this time it is going to be on, not carbonone, because this carbon, which is keto group, is also counted in the ring. So 3-methyl cyclohexane, and you can compare this with this example. Now here we have another compound. Now this is our functional group, so we should number from that side, from where this should get the earliest possible number. So 1 2, from here it can get 2 3, then 4, and this is unnumbered, so we will write it first. This compound is methyl, this group is methyl, and this is third, this is fourth, and this is fifth. So this methyl is present on fourth, so we will write 4-methyl, right? And then pent, because 5 chain, and then pent, and again hyphen for third, because for third you have double bond. You will write ene, but not ene, because the next is going to be on, right? So whenever you have a letter from vowels you will delete this E. Okay, now from this compound you are going to learn most, right? Here this carbonyl group is present at the extreme, right, and the other carbonyl group is present in the mid. So this carbonyl group is going to be aldehyde while this is going to be ketone, right? So numbering should be according to the aldehyde, because we have learned that aldehyde will be preferable as compared to ketone. So number from this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if this group is not present, then this will be pentenyl, and if this group is present, then the prefix is keto, as we know it is keto. So we will write here 3 keto pentanal. Do not write here any 1 al 2 al, because this is always present at first carbon. And now final nomenclature, final example. Now this is a question of analysis. We have aldehyde group, so we can number it from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if this group is not present, right, suppose I hide this group, right, this group is not present, so you will have 5 carbon, and the simple name for this will be pentane 1,5-dial, or you may not write it dial, because it is understood that this group will be at extreme positions, right? So pentane 1,5-dial. But now if this group is present, then we cannot ignore this group, and this group must be numbered, but you cannot number it if you are going this way or you are going this way, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, then either you have to ignore this part or you have to ignore this part. And the part which is not numbered, according to the rules of IUPAC, the part which is not numbered must be used as prefix, right? So it is impossible that I can treat the same group as suffix and I am treating the same group as prefix in the same compound. So what should be the correct way? The correct way is that we have to give all 3 groups in the same situation. And here is the idea. Suppose I number this carbon as 1 and this carbon as 2 and this carbon as 3. So this will be propane. And now you can notice that this group is attached to the first carbon, this is attached to the second carbon, and this is attached to the third carbon. So therefore these groups, now they are in the same situation, means everyone is attached to some carbon, right? Well, we have a suffix when this compound is not numbered, right? In this example we have done that suffix. I hope everyone knows that suffix is called carbaldehyde. So the name will be very simple, the name will be propane, right? Propane with E, right? 1, 2, 3, then tricarbaldehyde, right? And this will be the proper name for this compound. Keep in mind that you have to move very smoothly and very sensibly, very intelligently. You cannot go for cramming, right? And now here is the second aspect for the nomenclature, and that aspect is the common nomenclature. Now I am going to tell you the common name for these compounds which are equally popular as compared to this, and sometimes they are more popular than their official names. For example, this compound is officially we call it a methanol, and this is more popular by the name formaldehyde. So formaldehyde is the common name, and similarly this compound is more famous as acetaldehyde, right? Acetaldehyde. And this group where we get Y shape, we call it isobutyryl aldehyde, right? And for this group you will have to go with this. The nomenclature for common names is that the carbon next to the functional group is known as alpha. This carbon which is next to the functional group is called alpha, then beta, then gamma. So I will call it gamma methyl or methyl, it is methyl, gamma methyl cyclohexane carbaldehyde as such, right? And then this compound will be simply pentanal, and this pentanal is known as valeraldehyde, right? And this is known as acrolein, right? Acrolein. This compound is known as phthalaldehyde, right? Phthalaldehyde. And this is metabromo. This is from this part. Part is called meta, so it is called M-bromo benzaldehyde, right? And similarly, you can have very different compounds from ketone sides. However, the common names from ketone side is most famous for this, and the common name for this is mesityl oxide, right? Here is not ketone any other numbering, so it is called mesityl oxide. All right, now let us go and practice for some nomenclature questions, right? What name you can suggest for this? You can pause this video and write your name and then match with what I am going to write, right? So now the name for the compound is this is first carbon, second carbon and third carbon. I am writing here 3-methyl cyclopentane, right? Because this is a keto group. Then the compound, this is known as cyclohexane with E, cyclohexane carbaldehyde, because you cannot number this, right? And for this compound, numbering should be from this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So normally it will be heptanal, but here is bromo on the second position, which start from B, and here is methyl M for third. So write down alphabetically. B should be first, so it is 4-bromo 3-methyl heptanal, right? Okay, and this compound 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is pent 2-enal, right? So now let us draw the structures of the compound based on their names. Here is the question. Alpha methoxypropionaldehyde, right? So first we are going to select the chain. The chain is for 3 carbons, 1, 2, 3, and this third carbon must have been changed to aldehyde group, right? And now to this carbon, this is the first carbon, and on first carbon we have methoxy group, right? So this is the complete structure, alpha methoxypropionaldehyde. Similarly, you have 3-hydroxybutanol. So first you have to draw the 4th carbon chain. This is butane, and if I am going to change this to CHO, this becomes butanol, and this is first, second, third carbon, you have hydroxy, 3-hydroxybutanol. Next is 2-hydroxycyclopentane carbaldehyde. First you are going to draw the pentane, cyclic pentane. This is cyclopentane. Now you are going to attach the carbaldehyde, because it is carbaldehyde group, and on second carbon you have hydroxy. So second can be this one or it can be this one. So this one is the 2-hydroxycyclopentane carbaldehyde. Can anybody tell why I have attached this OH at this position, not at this position? And the answer to this question is very simple, because it's my choice, because both positions are equivalent and this position will be congested because of less space I have drawn at this position. Next is for oxopentenyl. Keep in mind this oxo is the same as keto. So first you draw the 5 carbon chain, and here you put the aldehyde group, and then this is first carbon, second carbon, third and fourth carbon contains this oxo group. Then this is disecondary butyl ketone, right? Means you have secondary butyl. This is butyl group 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is butyl 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And secondary butyl will be when it attaches to this point, right? Secondary butyl, right? So what I am going to write here, secondary butyl. Again you have to draw the same group 1, 2, 3, 4, and you just connect this point to this, and here you have to write this C and double bond O, and this is called the di because it is 2, and yes, obviously it is secondary and butyl, and it is ketone, it is common name. Then 4-fluoroacetophenone, right? First of all we are going to draw the structure of benzene. This is phene because you have understood this phene, right? And then this group is known as acetophenone, right? Because this contains the acetic group and phenyl group, and it is acetophenone. And the fourth position to this is this one. So here is the fluorine. So this is the answer to the question, and you can solve the exercise questions 12.2, 3, 4 and 5 which are related to the nomenclature, right? This was in text question number 12.1 which we have solved right now.